September 14th, 1965, Coral Gables, Florida. A young lab technician walks out of work early, telling her friend she's going shopping. She never returns. Her rental car is later found 650 miles away, stained with blood. The man who was supposed to help her is gone, vanished, just like her. 25 years later, a strange phone call came in saying Judy Hyams is alive and she lives in Omaha. Then the call ended. But if she is, why has no one seen her all these years? Judith Carol Hyams, known to her loved ones as Judy, was just 22 years old when she disappeared. She was a bright, independent young woman with a promising career ahead of her. Divorced, but not broken, she worked as a medical technician at the University of Miami's Jackson Memorial Hospital in Coral Gables, Florida. Those who knew her described Judy as kind, intelligent, and soft-spoken. She was meticulous in her work and private in her life. But in August of 1965, Judy learned she was pregnant. And in the America of the 1960s, being pregnant, single, and divorced carried a heavy social burden. Abortion was illegal in almost every state, and access to safe procedures was virtually non-existent. So Judy did what many women in her position had to do. She sought help underground. She used a false name, B. Kenny, for her pregnancy test, perhaps afraid of what people might think, or maybe to protect someone else. Then, without telling her family or friends the truth, she made a plan. On the morning of September 14th, Judy told her friend, Marilyn Jackson, that she would be leaving work early to go shopping for a watch. She said she withdrew $300 from her bank account, but investigators believe she had no intention of buying a watch. Instead, she was likely headed to see a man named Dr. George Hadjiu, a Hungarian immigrant who posed as a doctor and ran an illegal abortion clinic in Coral Gables. A friend had referred her to Hadjiu, and that was the last time anyone ever saw her alive. Sometime after leaving work, Judy was believed to have entered Hadjiu's office, likely alone, possibly nervous and probably afraid. And then she vanished. No body, no trace, no goodbyes. Not even a single confirmed sighting. For weeks, her disappearance baffled everyone. Her family was devastated. Her co-workers were stunned. And her friend Marilyn, the last to speak to her, was haunted by Judy's calm demeanor that morning. She didn't seem scared, Marilyn later said. But now I wonder if she was hiding it. 3 weeks later, investigators got their first break one that only deepened the mystery. A rental car in Judy's name was found in Atlanta, Georgia, 650 miles from Coral Gables. It had been parked near an apartment complex for days. Witnesses described a man in his 30s pulling up, getting out, grabbing a duffel bag from the trunk, and walking away inside the car. Traces of blood on the back seat. Was this Judy's blood? Had she been moved? Or worse, killed in the car? Because the car sat in the Georgia heat for days, any potential forensic evidence was compromised. Investigators couldn't test the blood or identify fingerprints. The trail was already growing cold. No one knew who the man was. Some believed his name was Smith. Witnesses say he boarded a flight to Miami shortly after, but he was never found. 3 months after Judy disappeared, Coral Gables police finally arrested George Hadjiu. They charged him with impersonating a physician, practicing medicine without a license, and performing illegal abortions. But just before he could face real questioning, Hadjiu posted bail and vanished. He skipped court, disappeared into thin air and was never seen again. There were rumors he fled to Hungary, his home country. Some believed he used connections to vanish internationally. Others thought he went deeper underground within the U.S. Either way, authorities lost him, and with him, any real answers about what happened to Judy Hyams. Years passed. The case stalled. Judy's body was never found. Her family, still clinging to hope, never gave up. Marilyn Jackson remained adamant. Judy didn't die that day. She was smart, Marilyn said. She worked in medicine. She would have known the risks. She wouldn't have gone into something that could kill her. But without new evidence, the case went ice cold. Until, nearly 25 years later, the mystery reignited with a series of truly bizarre events. In 1990, Coral Gables Police Captain Chuck Shearer traveled to a police narcotics seminar near Omaha, Nebraska. It was a routine training, a normal few days away. But 2 weeks after he returned, he received a strange phone call. The man on the line said he was Steve Brown, a popular Omaha radio host. According to the caller, an anonymous tipster had information about Judy Hyams. The caller said Judy was alive and living in Omaha. Shearer, who hadn't thought about the case in years, was stunned. He told the caller he would look into it and call back. When he did, the real Steve Brown was completely confused. He had never heard of Judy. He had never made the call. And somehow the earlier caller had used his unlisted phone number. How did a stranger impersonate a radio host and give out a private number? Things got stranger. 2 days later, another call came in. This time a woman's voice. Calm, cold, clear. Judy Hyams is alive, she said, and she lives in Omaha. When Captain Shearer asked for her name, she repeated the same line again and again, before finally hanging up. At this point, Shearer reopened the investigation. A local newspaper published an article about the case. And soon after, another mysterious call came in, this time from a man who claimed to be an FBI informant. He said he had spent time with George Hadjiu in Budapest, Hungary. He even provided a working phone number for Hadjiu. Shearer contacted Interpol. They traced the number. It did, in fact, belong to someone named George Hadjiu, but no arrest was made. The trail once again went dark. 4 days after the story aired on Unsolved Mysteries in 1991, another twist. Coral Gables police received an anonymous letter, no name, no return address. Inside a confession, the writer claimed that Judy had died during the abortion. She suffered a fatal allergic reaction to anesthesia. The letter said her body was dumped in Biscayne Bay, near Miami. Investigators believe the letter was authentic. There was a level of detail that matched the case. It didn't read like a prank, and the timeline aligned. But there was no signature, no name, and most importantly, no body. To this day, Judy has never been found. The Coral Gables police considered the anonymous letter credible and quietly closed the investigation. They never found Judy's remains in Biscayne Bay. They never located the man who abandoned the car in Atlanta. They never arrested George Hadjiu, who remains a fugitive to this day. And they never figured out who made the strange calls from Omaha, or why. Some believe Judy did survive and started a new life. Others are convinced she died that same day at Hadjiu's office, just another tragic statistic in the dark days of illegal abortions. Judy Hyams was legally declared deceased in 1972, but the story didn't end there. Captain Charles Shearer, who revived the case in 1990, passed away in 2014. Steve Brown, the radio host caught in the web of this mystery, passed in 2008. And Judy, if she's still out there, would be in her 80s today. This is more than a missing persons case. It's a story of fear, secrecy, and the terrible consequences of a society that left women like Judy with nowhere to turn. Whether she died that day or lived in hiding, one truth remains: Judy Hyams deserved better. She deserved protection, safety, and dignity. Instead, she vanished into silence, leaving behind only whispers, rumors, and a question that still haunts us. What really happened to Judy Hyams? If this story moved you, don't let it disappear like Judy did. Like, comment, and share this video to help keep her case alive. And if you have any information about what happened to Judith Carol Hyams, contact your local authorities. Subscribe to Vanished and Unsolved for more gripping true crime stories like this one.